Would you look at that little adorable cuteness? That's our calf. She's about 5 days old right now. She's doing really well. She's been bouncing around, full of energy, very playful. We actually come up with a name for her. It's gonna be Belinda Carlisle, named in honor of the lead singer of the Go-Go's. And there's protective Uncle Kurt hanging out by her. Oop. They're all high energy right now. And there's a reason for that. I've got a surprise for you guys. Little Belinda Carlisle isn't even the youngest bovine on our farm anymore. Allow me to introduce this newborn who was just born. I mean, just born. This little one is the offspring of Audrey, who you can see right here, Audrey 1, that is. I gotta say, if I was gonna pick a day for a little calf to be born, today was the day. Even though it's looking really overcast and it's even starting to drop a little rain right now, today was like 60 degrees and sunny. It was amazing weather. Unlike our last calf birth, it was the perfect weather for a new baby to come into the world. You know, it was such a nice day that Allison and I decided to spend the day together and go out and have lunch and go exploring and really just relax and spend some time together. But right before we left around 10 o'clock or so, I came out here to check on the cows, and I was noticing that both Annabelle and Audrey 1 were both looking very ready to drop. And so as soon as we got back to the farm about a half an hour ago, I rushed right out here to check on the cows and see what was going on. And I was shocked to see not one, but 2 calves sitting in our yard. I was so excited. So we have our calf that was born the other day during the blizzard, who, like I've said, we've decided to name Belinda after Belinda Carlisle. And then we have this new one. Look at it walking weakly on its little calfy legs. So adorable. And I haven't even gotten a good look to see if it's a boy or a girl yet. Did you guys get a look? I didn't quite get a look. Maybe I'll get a better look when I'm editing this video. Mom's boxing me out. I think it's another female. Oh, maybe not. Mom's still a little bit of a mess back there. Mom's starting to dig into the afterbirth and giving that a munchin'. But actually, I think this little one is a boy, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to make the same mistake I made with little Belinda. It's actually important for the mom to eat that. It's a good source of nutrients for her. Kurt is being such a good uncle right there. Look at that. But he's like, nope, no little one. You're not the one that's supposed to be trying to nurse off of me. Meanwhile, Anna Green Gables is feeding her little one. You can see that right there. Uh-oh, we got 2 mommies going here. Baby confusion, if you will. The whole farm is in rapt attention at this event. Do you think it's a boy or a girl?
A boy.
You know, as we're watching this, I'm still not 100% clear on what the sex is, but as I get closer and look closer, I think it's a boy. Like, I will say it's about 90% a male bull calf versus a heifer calf like our last one. I'll keep watching over the next few days and be able to tell you for sure. Because the moms are so protective and I don't have a good area to like sort the cows, I don't want to get too close because I could risk injury. And me knowing that it's a bull calf now versus 2 days from now really doesn't matter, so I'm not going to get too worked up over it. And while I'm not too worked up over what the sex of the calf is, the thing I'm getting a little bit concerned about is I still haven't seen this calf suckle. You know, I see him stumbling around and looking around, and he seemed to want to try to suckle off Kurt Cobain. And he also seemed kind of interested in suckling off Anne of Green Gables, who has a calf of her own and probably doesn't want to add a second calf into the milking mix. And Audrey 1 definitely looks like she wants this calf suckling, just the calf doesn't seem to quite figure it out. Like, it's like we're watching and it seems like it's getting close, but not. And I'm worried because if you don't get the colostrum into the animal very quickly, it can mean some longer term health risks and the survival rate goes down significantly. As I'm watching it and just being a little patient, I know that I need to have more confidence in nature. I mean, the 2 calves that we've had born here on the farm so far came off with no complications, and I shouldn't let my nervousness get in the way. That's one of the big things that my cow mentor has been pushing on me is, you know, these are animals that have good genetics, that have been doing this for generations, and so for me to be all worried and interfere too much, I shouldn't do that, particularly on a day like today where it's nice and warm and I don't have all the blizzard issues like I did with the birth of Belinda Carlisle. You know, at some point I want to get back in here and clean up the cattle yard. I've been trying to do that like every 2 or 3 days, where I come in, scoop up as much of the poop as I possibly can, add more fresh bedding, add more fresh hay. If Audrey 1 doesn't eat that afterbirth anytime soon, I should probably get that out there as well. I just know I need to be very careful because lots of mamas and Kurt Cobain mean I have a lot of protective cows and I could get hurt if I'm not careful. And so I'm just watching, but I will probably tomorrow morning get out here and try to do a quick roundup and clean up. The other thing I want to try to start doing is halter training these calves as a way to like get a better handle on them and make them more friendly and handleable, so that they have a better future in terms of working with them on the farm. For those wondering about what's gonna happen with these calves, so for Belinda Carlisle, she's gonna stay on our farm potentially for her entire life. My plan will be to actually ultimately have her get pregnant and produce new calves of her own. Keeping the heifer calves is part of my strategy for expanding my herd. If this little fella turns out to be a fella, I'll probably end up making him a steer, and then ultimately he'd be used for meat. There's like maybe an outside chance that I end up keeping him as a bull calf, but he wouldn't be a bull calf for my farm. I would actually look to sell him or trade him to some other farm because I need to have different genetics in my herd for the next time I get my cows pregnant. And speaking of genetics, you know, one interesting thing that I'm noticing, I think this is the case, it's that the father of our new calf, I believe, is also the father of Belinda Carlisle. He's this black Highland bull that was at the previous farm that their mothers came from. The interesting thing really is, even though Audrey 1 is a black colored Highland, and even though this calf's father is a black colored Highland, he's clearly a red colored Highland, which is different. I'm assuming it's got something to do with genetics, where like say for example, Audrey 1 is carrying the red gene alongside the black gene that's expressed in her, and then the dad is also carrying the red gene along with the black gene that's expressed with him, and the pairing of the two of them maybe produced an animal that had both of those recessive genes, which is why we end up with this little red one. Of course, I got to admit, I'm talking out of my butt on this stuff right now, and I don't have a good handle on cattle genetics, or at least not nearly as good a handle as I probably should have. And so if anybody has any thoughts on that one, let me know down in the comments. All right, I'm gonna go do a couple chores around the farm. We'll check back in with this little one as it starts to get dark. Come on, Abby dog, let's go get our eggs. See what we got for chicken eggs today. A couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that makes for 13 chicken eggs on the day. Those are not for you, little Abby dog. Let's see if we got any goose eggs, huh, Ab? Oh yeah, we got some. 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's 4 eggs. All those eggs have been laid since 9 o'clock this morning, so that makes so far 8 eggs on the day. Well, that's pretty good. That goose just went after Abby. It's okay, Abby. It's part of the job, girl. You gotta stay out of the way of the goose. That is a pretty good haul, Abby girl. Abby, you got so muddy today, girl. Oh my gosh, let's take a look at you. You know, over the years, people have often remarked about Toby Dog and how he stays so clean. I always thought it was a trait of the breed, but good golly, Abby girl. You're a dirty girl. It's okay, pup, I still love you. I don't know if you guys can see this, but our pond is gigantic right now. Just one big massive space. And all the birds are enjoying the ample swimming access. We really don't even need to pour them water tomorrow. They've got so much water to deal with here. Abby's curious about it. That's probably how she got so darn muddy. They look so happy. You know, a lot of you have asked for an update on the bees, and I owe you an update on the bees, but I won't do that today. I love seeing all three of these cats eating together again. It makes me so happy. And everybody's adjusting really well to the new food. Specifically what I do is I take some of the urinary tract diet dry food and then I mix it with hot water for about 20 minutes. And so it's actually really nice and soft and they love it. Even Molly Murder Mittens, who's usually kind of a picky eater. Good night, duckery doos. Good night, geese. Come on, Parks and Rec gang. I find that the nicer the weather it is, it gets harder to put the animals back up at night again. Come on, geese, let's go. Let's go, geesey geeses. Come on. In you go. Come on, guys. You're a good helper dog, Abby. We have a few stragglers hanging back here. Oh, if it isn't Lenny and the Outsiders. Where are you going? Come on. Good night, everybody. Hey, Murder Mittens. Good night, weird chickens. All right, dogs, I'm gonna feed you now. Come on. Lock up the last of my straggler ducks. Good night, ducks. Get Toby Dog his food. Come on, Mr. Toby Dog, let's go. Here you go, buddy. Enjoy. Come on, Abby, we're gonna give you your food next. Let's go. And here goes your meal, Lady Abington. Enjoy. Just a quick check of our calves. I see Belinda Carlisle actually trying to snack on some hay over here. Her mom, Ann, is... Where is her mom? Oh, looks like her mom's over there. There's her mom. Looks like her mom's getting a bite for the night. Hey, how's it going there, Annie? I don't know if you guys can see in the background hanging out in that window, Mr. Pablo Barncat. And here we have Audrey 1 and our less than a day old, maybe, I don't know, about 6 hours old calf. You did some great work here today, Audrey. I'm very proud of you. And you, little one, can I get a little pet of you? Aw, that's a good little boy. I think you're a little boy. Go check you. You're not getting up for me, huh? You're not gonna get up for me? Can you get up for me? You're tired. You've had a long day, I know. Well, you've got a very good mama. You've got a very protective uncle. I think you're gonna do just fine, little one. Oh, your coat is so scruffy and nice. But I'm gonna guess I'm not done with my calving season because I'm pretty sure that Annabelle is gonna be the next one to give birth. I will admit I'm kind of impressed with just how far these cattle have come. If you want to flash back to the earlier days of when we got the cattle, I'll leave this video right here as well as this one up here. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back real soon with an update.